Here we are, Badly. Armadillo. Yeah, this actually makes me think of a story. Shut up, you'll love it. It was a dry and dusty day in Armadillo. Well, come to think of it, it's only dusty when it's dry. You don't have no dust when it's raining. What am I saying? Anyways, set for the saloon, the most lively place in Armadillo was the graveyard. And mind you, this was before the plague. Now, the top culprit of the high body count was an unhealthy combination of having a bustling saloon and a spineless sheriff, and New Austin wasn't no short of bad folk, what with all the smuggling over the San Luis River. Armadillo Saloon would on a regular basis be visited by a band of 5 bandits who would barge in, breaking and bragging bombastically of their bad businesses, and were unnecessary to the unfortunate locals that had little choice but to be in there. Oh, I agree badly. I always found it curious how some people get satisfaction out of the discomfort of others, and oppositely, discomfort when someone isn't. And that is exactly what happened next. When the one miscreant noticed the man in a white hat sitting all nonchalant-like at the bar.
Hey, I think you should run along, Fancy Pants, and you can leave that hat of yours behind,
the bandit said. But the man in the white hat took little notice as he sipped his whiskey and reached for the complimentary nuts. But the bandit then slapped the nuts off the counter. The man in the white hat simply paused, gave a light shrug, and returned to his drink.
Don't you ignore me,
the bandit exclaimed as he swung his hand to slap off the man in the white hat's white hat. But the man grabbed the bandit's wrist, stopping it mid-swing, and said, "How can I if you barge in here bombastically with your buddies bragging of bad businesses that you won't be able to back?" Slowly turning his gaze to meet the bandit's eyes. The bandit grinned and came in for a headbutt, but instead, his nose was met by an elbow, which quickly put him off his feet, and left him making sounds that are usually associated with little girls. 2 of the other miscreants were observing this whole affair and went for their guns, but caught a little lead plague of their own before they even had a chance to get their shooters out of their holsters. As those 2 dropped to the floor, another bandit was standing on the stairs and had carelessly whipped out his revolver, flaring off a couple of shots by slapping the hammer with his left palm. Well, those shots went all over the place, and even almost hit the barman who wasn't even standing at the same side of the bar. The man in the white hat retaliated with a less careless shot that landed the bandit square in the chest. Not sitting down quickly enough to the man in the white hat's liking, he placed another bullet in the man's head. Footsteps could be heard upstairs darting to the doors leading to the balcony, most likely from a more intelligent bandit that was making his exit. The man in the white hat simply glared up at the swinging doors and then directed his gun back down to the first fellow by his feet, who at that point was holding his nose in a much less braggable manner. He then gestured at the bandit to remove his gun belt and toss it to the side, then said, "Sit tight," and holstered his gun with a quick spin. He then removed a stack of folded up bounty posters, which he paged through as he walked around, comparing the faces on the lifeless posters to the equally lifeless faces all over the saloon floor. After he was done, he cussed at the fact that one fellow that ran away was probably the one poster he could not find a match for, and that flaring fool lying on the staircase must have been new to the whole banditing business, as he did not have a poster of his own. Also should explain why he choked when he had to fire under pressure. The man walked back to the bandit at the bar while staring at the poster in his hand and said, "Dead or alive?" To which the bandit gave a confused, "What?" The man shifted his eyes from the poster to the bandit and reiterated, "Do you want to carry a body, or do you want to be carried as a body?" The 2 left the saloon, walking up to the sheriff's office. The bandit carrying one body, the other stowed on a horse. As they got to the sheriff's office, the man in the white hat gestured for the bandit to lead the way in. Once inside, he found that the last bandit actually turned himself in and was locked in the one cell. Turns out, when he made his way to the balcony, he tried climbing over the one railing, which broke on him, badly injuring his leg. The sheriff was at his desk with a newfound vigor, and leaning back in his chair in quite the cocky fashion.
"I guess you come to collect,"
the sheriff said, to which the man in the white hat replied, "Yup. This here fellow in front of you, his friend over his shoulder, another stiff on the horse, and also that fellow in that cell over yonder. The sheriff, with a smirk, said,
Well, that's 2 deceased and only 1 alive. Shame, though, I won't be able to reward you for collecting all 4s, as one over yonder did come in here on his own volition.
The man in the white hat then looked at the sheriff expressionless for a good 5 seconds, then said, In that case, let's make it only the 2 deceased. He then turned to the bandit accompanying him and said, Thank you for your help carrying that body over here, boy. Simply put him down anywhere and make your way.
What are you doing?
The sheriff asked nervously, sitting upright. The bandit, not waiting for a second invite, simply dropped the body and ran out. You know, I'm not really a fan of uneven numbers, said the man in the white hat.
You can't let him go. I'll mark you a co-conspirator,
The sheriff said nervously. It doesn't matter. That amigo will be back with his friends before the postman. Wonder how much I can get for their bounty after they kill the sheriff. Standing up, the sheriff said,
Okay. Stop that bandit before he rides out of here. I'll pay you for bringing in all 4s.
The man clarified. All 4 alive?
All 4 alive. For crying out loud, just please stop that man,
The sheriff exclaimed. The man in the white hat walked over to his horse in a nonchalant way, pulled a Springfield rifle from his saddle, prodded his white hat with his finger as he stared down the main road to the saloon. The bandit just got on his horse tethered by the saloon, but instantly climbed back off again, with assistance from a bang, and in a much less gracious fashion, might I add. From inside the sheriff's office, there was silence, as both the sheriff and the last remaining bandit stared at the door in anticipation. The door creaked as the man in the white hat entered and stood by the sheriff's desk, not uttering a word.
Did you get him?
The sheriff asked, to which he simply got a look. The sheriff then quickly slid the reward money over the desk and said,
It's all there. 4 alive.
The man in the white hat picked up the envelope, gave it a peek, tipped his hat in the direction of the cell, and gave the sheriff one last glare as he made his way to the door. As he stopped and said, You really ought to find someone more cut out for this job, and soon. As the door swung shut, the sheriff fell back into his chair, pondering up at the wooden ceiling.
Resplendor,
The bandit said from his cell. The sheriff then tilted his ear to the bandit as he continued.
They call him Blaze, and he's the type of Chico. When he gives you advice, you take it.
The sheriff sat forward again, with an exhale said,
Yep.
as he closed his desk drawer with his badge in it.